Well, welcome back. Passionate music, beautiful singing, and intense drama. The Nashville Opera has an amazing production coming up, and it tells the story of a woman who takes matters into her own hands. We are talking about the story of Lucia, the bride of Lammermoor. Of course, I messed up the easier word. Oh my goodness, we're here with Raynell, who plays Lucia. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Yes, for those that don't know, this is a tragic tale. Not only does she take matters into her own hands, but she's a murderer. What do you love about the story?
So the thing that I love about Lucia, especially as a character, is that she has this overwhelming sort of young teenage, sort of traumatically damaged way of looking at life. I mean, both of her parents are gone. Her mother's recently passed. Her brother is in charge of the estate. He doesn't really know what he's doing, and he's trying to marry her off in this political alliance against her wishes. She has the love interest that, of course, it's like star-crossed and the families are enemies and this whole thing. And little by little, with every single scene, every institution that is meant to protect her, her brother, the priest, you know, everyone that she goes to for help and for guidance sort of continues to steer her down this wrong path. And eventually she cracks under the pressure. And the way that that takes shape is in the infamous mad scene.
Yeah, this opera, first of all, we have to draw attention to the screen here because, is this you here?
Yeah, that was me. That was the show that we did last year. We did Die Flute to the Magic Flute.
Wow.
So I played Queen of the Night. So
look at that costume, and you look amazing. But this is known as one of the most intense, mad scenes there is because there's like blood everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Tell us how you bring it to life.
So all of the violence happens off stage. So the chorus is celebrating this wedding that's happening, this political wedding that she's been forced into. And Lucia leaves the stage, and then the priest comes running on, and he says, "You are not going to believe what I just saw. I have to tell you about this horrific, grisly scene. I saw Lucia standing over the body of her husband, covered in blood, holding the knife," and everyone's, of course, horrified. And then Lucia comes in at the top of the staircase in this production, completely, I mean, she's had a break with reality. She's had an absolute mental break. I don't think she's aware that she has killed him. I don't think she's aware of anything. And she goes on to have this like 15-minute hallucination of marrying the man that she actually loves while she is covered in the blood of the man that she's just murdered and holding the murder weapon.
Oh, wow. So you bring this hallucination to life covered in blood.
And everyone around her can hear what she's saying. And she is, you know, really seeing this happening. There's a really chilling wedding march that she does just all by herself, and nobody else can hear the music and nobody else can see it but her, and it's a lot.
Wow, you've got me in on this. We were seeing those images of you working with the opera before. This is the second time, at least, that you've worked with them, I think, over the last year. What do you love about working with the Nashville Opera?
Oh, what don't I love about working with Nashville Opera? They always pull together a great team of people, truly. I feel respected as an artist, but I also feel really sort of protected as an artist, which is nice. We're contract workers. We go from opera house to opera house, and you're always thrown in with a new group of people, and you know, sometimes personalities clash and sometimes they don't, and sometimes it really works out really beautifully. And that's one of my favorite things about working here is they always pull together an incredible team, and especially for something as big as a role debut. This is going to be my first time ever singing Lucia.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. But to have that sort of support and friendship and collegiality through this like very short, intense process of putting the show together it's incomparable, really.
Well, that's incredible. And the Nashville Opera is celebrating 45 years next season. So obviously they do incredible work. The opera is such a unique field. How did you get into it?
Oh, yeah, well, I played piano as a kid, so that was my exposure to classical music, and I really loved it, just fell in love from the get-go. And I sang in children's choirs, and I took voice lessons, and, you know, I did choir in school, so that was all of my exposure to sort of classical music. Then I started doing musicals in high school, and I thought, you know what, musicals are great, but opera just seems more difficult. And of course, to me, I was like, that sounds great because it's probably more fun when you do it right. And so I just started going down that path. And it's sort of the same way that kids pick an athletic specialty too. Like if you look at a kid and he's got super broad shoulders and really long arms, you're going to be like, do do you want to be a swimmer? Have you thought about maybe swimming? And so in a similar way, as the voice is developing, you don't really know what it's going to be, you know? So you're going through puberty and you're kind of like, what is my voice going to do? What's it going to turn into? And mine was sort of really uniquely suited to opera.
Amazing. Well, congrats to you. I can't wait to see you up there and do this. Knock it out the park.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. The Nashville Opera has a deal for you guys. Y'all can scan this QR code or use the promo code Lucia, WKRN20 to get 20% off Lucia, the Bride of Lammermoor. The show is April 3rd and 5th at TPAC.